I miss Norman Bates Hotel.
Jimmy and I were talking about it last night.
It's a good show.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Sept Continue Newscast. My name is Tommy Shelby. With me, as always, Miss Shanae Howard.
Hi, guys.
Mr. Ryan Robinson.
Hello.
So, this week, quite a few things happened.
A lot happened.
So let's go through some of these.
All right.
Telltale closed down.
Yes.
Yep. Done.
What do you guys have to say about any of this?
I feel like you called it.
Sure.
Are we still doing hashtag Tommy told you?
It doesn't matter. We can or we can't. It doesn't matter. Yeah. I mean, I feel like it was obvious. A lot of people seem surprised, and I'm like, how? How can you be surprised with the restructuring they did last year? I'm surprised it didn't happen sooner.
Restructuring is corporate speak for layoffs.
Yeah.
It sucks a lot, and especially considering the fact that a lot of people lost their jobs. I mean, that's something that happens pretty frequently in the video game industry, but it always sucks when it happens.
Yeah.
I did happen to see though that Ubisoft had posted on Twitter about a meetup for former Telltale Games employees to talk about job opportunities.
Yeah, much more than Ubisoft. Ubisoft did it. Ninja Theory did it, which is now Xbox first party. Insomniac did it, which is Sony first party.
Yeah.
Quite a few studios. I think a lot of people also seem to forget that Telltale was formed out of the closure of LucasArts.
Yeah.
So I think most of these people will land on their feet.
Yeah.
But it is sad.
They didn't finish Walking Dead, right?
They did not, no.
No.
Also, like, why do you guys suppose it is that people were so up in arms and sad about this, but, like, I saw very few people upset about Capcom Vancouver, which was, like, 3-4 days earlier?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I wasn't the only one that was part of my news stuff. Yeah, I think that because it's just Capcom Vancouver and not all of Capcom, but, like, all of Telltale's and people... And
sure,
Telltale
but, like, Capcom Vancouver is probably the equivalent of whatever employees Telltale had, you know?
Yeah, I just don't think people are, like, aware of that.
Yeah.
Like, when you say Telltale game, you're like, oh, it's like Walking Dead. Like,
Sure.
I think more people cared about more Walking Dead and Wolf Among Us than they cared about more Dead Rising.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I
think that's the primary thing behind that.
So it's what have you done for me then?
Right. Well, I mean, look at the reaction. Most of the reaction that you see, right, is about, oh no, now we're not going to get this. Oh
right.
no, now we're not going to get that. And very little was that sucks that those people lost their jobs.
Sure.
So I mean, and that's how it's always been. I think that when you like even going back to when Visceral got closed down, right? First thing people said, oh shit, where's the dead space?
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's like, so when people think about studio closures, they think about the games that they're not going to get to play.
Sure.
So I mean, the reaction that you get is going to be based on the fan base behind the games that they make.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I also want to talk about Nintendo Switch Online finally launched.
Yep.
Sinead, did you sign up or no?
Sit on that family plan.
sitting on it.
Yeah.
$36 a year or some shit?
Yeah, so I signed up, and I kind of feel dumb because I talked to my friend Casey about it a few days later, and she also signed up, but she signed up for the family plan, right? She didn't have a family.
Why did she do that?
Well, because she paid $30 for it and called up fucking 7 of her friends and was like, hey, give me $4 and you'll have Nintendo Online for a year.
Yeah.
You know? So now her and 8 of her friends got it for $4 a piece, which I think is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I got it for $10 after using some of the Nintendo Gold coins.
Yeah.
I think, like, it's bare bones online. You know, it is. But, like, we knew it was going to be that.
For $20 a year.
And it's $20 a year.
Yeah.
And with these gold coins, if you're averaging 6 games a year, you can get it for free.
Yeah.
You know?
But see, that's what I think that's probably one of the cooler things about it.
Yeah.
Is, buying, like, your purchases from Nintendo can actually basically pay for the online
Sure.
store, so that's great.
The other thing, it adds, like, not really a unified account system, but sort of. So what's cool about it is I can now log in on my account to Shanae's Switch, and she can play all my games, you know, and vice versa. Nintendo's never done that, so that's pretty cool. I like the emulation for the NES games. Seems to work very well. It's the same emulator that they've used on the 2 classic consoles.
Yeah.
I pre-ordered my Nintendo controllers, which you can only do if you sign up for this service.
Yeah. $60 for them some bitches.
Yeah.
Is it $60 per or $60 for the set?
No, for the set.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you can only do it if you are signed up, and you can only do it once per account.
Okay.
Which I think is actually a good idea. I mean, you could call it predatory, right? Because they want you to sign. They're basically holding these behind a paywall.
Yeah, then again, I guess it depends on how badly you want them controllers.
But at the same time, they only work for those games.
Right.
And you only have those games if you're signed up for this service. Mm-hmm. So I think the main reason behind it is to keep down on scalpers.
Yeah.
Shanae, do you see that new Pokemon creature? In Pokemon Go?
The little bolt thing? Yeah, I got
What's that all about?
No one knows.
I figured you would know.
Actually, no. There hasn't been a statement that I am aware of, but I've been watching it on the Pokemon Go subreddit.
Yeah.
And also, there's like a Pokemon Go like local group on our that has a Discord channel that we've talked about it on.
Sure.
There's like theories about what it is. One was like testing for some other new event going on. And some are like I heard somebody say that it was there's a community day going on, and all of the Pokemon that are showing up because of that community day, when it switched over, all of those Pokemon turned into those little bolt creatures.
I thought it was only Dittos, no?
Yeah, when you caught them, they were Dittos.
Yeah.
Unless like you caught like we're trying to tap it as it turned from like the community day Chikorita into like the little bolt creature. Does it have a name?
It's very strange because like I saw this on Twitter and I'm like, is that a bug? You know, and like you never can tell with Pokemon because like that very well could be like just some weird amalgamation of polygons that was the result of some bug, or it could be an actual Pokemon. You never really know with them because their shit looks so fucking weird. You know?
So like I mean, I thought it was gonna be an unknown when I caught it. I was like, okay, because I have yet to catch an unknown, and they're like little letter creatures. Because I was at work, so I was only like catching Pokemon every now and then, but I wasn't like on social media.
You were playing video games at work.
Yep.
Well, she's checked out already. She's senioritis.
Sure.
I've had Pokemon Go every day at work.
Yeah.
Because I don't give a fuck. Also, I'm
Hope your boss is watching.
Also, I'm counting all those steps to hatch all those eggs.
Sure.
But yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why that is. I don't know why it happened. Some people are thinking that whenever they announce the new event, all those Dittos are going to become something else.
Yeah.
So I accidentally. Oh, I didn't know that. That was a theory. So I traded half of them away. So I still have a good portion of them because I caught like 20 something of them.
Yeah.
So I still have a good portion of them. I don't know what's happened. They haven't done anything different or new on there. I'm excited. Let's see what they do. If not, I have a bunch of Dittos. That's fine.
Sure. PlayStation Classic?
Yes.
$100 for that sumbitch.
$100. I think that's a great deal.
Yeah, you got.
I think people complaining that you're paying $100 for 20 games.
That's 20. Hold on. That's
with
20,
controllers.
That's 20.
And,
that's 20 PlayStation games.
Yeah.
All right. And also, they're complaining before they even know what all them games are.
That's my biggest complaint is why not review all the games, and I think it's because they don't know.
Yeah.
I think they're probably still trying to get licenses for things. But I think it's cool.
Yeah.
I think it's cool. And I also see a lot of people, especially, and like Nintendo outlets, right? Like Nintendo Life, like, oh, how much more is Sony going to copy Nintendo? And I'm just like, okay, but Sega did it before Nintendo did it, and Atari did it before Sega did it. So, like...
How many more times is Killer Instinct going to copy Mortal Kombat?
Yeah.
How many more times is Saints Row going to copy GTA?
Yeah.
All right? Innovation is dead.
But I think it's fucking cool, man. I wish it was DualShocks, obviously, but it's not. Probably to keep the price down.
Yeah, so we're probably no Ape Escape on there.
The new PS3 Mini is going to have DualShock, so that's fine.
Sure.
Yeah, when we're 50 and that PS3 Mini comes out, that's going to be sweet.
Speaking of PlayStation Now is allowing downloads for PS2 and PS4 games, specifically on PS4.
Yeah.
So, if you don't know, the reason you're not downloading PlayStation 3 games is because PS2 and PS4 games are running natively, where PS3 would not and cannot because of the cell processor. This is also the reason there's no downloads for any of these on PC. Still think it's a step in the right direction.
Definitely. And that...
And you and I were talking about it like the night before it got announced.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and that, I think the ability to download video games is kind of what set it apart from Game Pass.
Yeah.
Well, that and the whole day and date availability thing.
Sure, but when your first party games are as limited as Microsoft's, does it really matter?
Nope.
Yeah.
And like being able to play that many PS4 games, that many PS2 games, and we're not talking bad games either.
Yeah.
You know, I think that it more than warrants the price of admission. And granted, I think PlayStation Now has been out for what?
Years.
Yeah. And you know, at first, the concept was cool, and then you kind of fell off of it because of the latency and made a lot of the games in that library unplayable.
You and I both signed up and both dipped because of that latency.
Yeah, but the ability to download these games and actually play them, in much more closely to the way that they're meant to be played is definitely a step in the right direction, and it makes me feel a lot better about that $20 a month.
Yeah, the interesting thing is this is still something I'm not going to sign up for. If the PS3 games were there, I'd sign up for it. I'm not going to sign up for it because I own most of the games that I want to play on PS4.
Right.
But I think this holiday season, if you just bought your kid a PlayStation 4,
Sure,
and you don't want to drop $60 on one new game,
give them.
Here's a bunch of games for them.
Get them a bunch of games for $20.
Yeah.
And they can play them all they want.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I think that I think also like you said with Sony and this Gaikai acquisition and all the money that they spent on that, they were pretty steadfast in their design philosophy as far as that thing went. But
Yeah.
I think that now that they see the potential of kind of implementing that sort of functionality, I think it's still even with the downloadability, it's still kind of not there yet. But
Right.
I think give it a year or so, I think we'll see a lot of improvement.
In what way? Because if you download the game, it's the same game as if you bought it.
Yeah, I think honestly,
what needs to improve there?
I think as far as the functionality, nothing needs to improve. But I think that we'll see a ramp up in the amount of games that are available on the service.
Sure.
Depending on the adoption rate, I think that we'll see a lot more games on that service and make it a lot more attractive, especially if the price stays the same.
And I expect the adoption rate to be minimum.
Yeah,
I do. People who praise Games Pass, well, very few people actually use Games Pass.
Yeah.
So I don't think overnight Sony's making a mint off of this.
Yeah, like Game Pass. I got Game Pass specifically for one reason, for not Dead Rising, State of Decay 2. I played it, done with it. I haven't touched Game Pass since.
Yeah.
Which also begs the question: why do I still own an Xbox? But that's another conversation that I'll have another 15 times before I trade it in.
Sure.
But yeah, PlayStation Now is great. Not great, but good.
Anything else of significance this week?
Yeah. So there was some. There's a little bit of scuttlebutt about what's going on with Devil May Cry 5, and there's gonna be some microtransactions that allow you to level up your character, as opposed to just getting the orbs. And I've seen a lot of dust up around that, and I saw some people saying, you know what, I'm gonna cancel my pre-order over that. I'm like, you could just not spend the money and just play the game.
Yeah.
And the producer, I read a quote from the producer of the game. He's like, we just want people to be able to play the game the way that they want.
It's interesting because we were talking about character action last week.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm playing through Bayonetta right now. And you have to grind a fuck ton in that game. Like a lot. If you want to, upgrade your character to the maximum potential. Yeah. I could see it being appealing to some people to drop $5 to skip some of that.
Well, I think also, I think that the concern, or I think part of the criticism, and this is me speculating, because I didn't really read a lot into those discussions, but I think it's more like now that there is the ability to pay to get that character advancement.
Right.
Then if you don't pay, you're gonna have the grind is gonna be that much more to entice you to spend money. Will that be the case? I don't know. I'm probably still gonna get the game though, so
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not too worried about that. But at the same time, like I feel like that kind of conversation is very much like the conversation that surrounded a hypothetical easy mode in Dark Souls, where it's like, you know, if you don't want to engage in it, then don't.
Yeah.
But then again, I don't know how the game is going to be balanced with the presence of those microtransactions, so I'll reserve my opinion until I actually get to play the game. But
Right.
I just don't see it being...
I think that there will be some bad word of mouth for the game when it comes out because people will get into it and realize that it is difficult to obtain these higher goals, but like it's always been that way.
Devil May Cry has never been an easy game.
Right, and there is a lot of replaying areas over and over and over again to progress to the point where you might want to.
Even the easiest of the Devil May Cry games is kind of a bitch. So.
Right, and that being said...
Which is the easiest?
Gosh, I would say Devil May Cry 1 is probably the easiest.
And, you know, all that being said, like, you can play through these games and finish them without getting everything very easily. I could have been done with Bayonetta a long time ago.
I guess it just depends on what you want to get out of it, right?
Yeah.
Like with how much you played Nier, like it depends on how much you want to get out of it.
Exactly.
Do you just want to see those endings? Done. But if you want to see all... How many letters are in the alphabet?
26.
26. You want to see all 26 endings? Then they're there for you, but they're not... Nothing. It's not mandatory. Video games are not mandatory.
And is it a game that you want to play through, or is it a game that you want to excel at?
Yeah.
You know, but...
Yeah, so... I don't know. We'll see when that game comes out. I don't remember when Devil May Cry 5 is coming out. But I'm looking forward to it either way.
Small side note, Kingdom Hearts 3 box art is officially announced. It's dope.
It's alright.
I like it. Makes me more excited.
I got a piece of news that's not games related.
I'm just on the hype train.
That I think Ryan will be happy about, if you have not already heard. Bill Hader and Henry Winkler each won an Emmy for Barry.
That is very good news.
For Best Comedic Actor and
Barry
Best Supporting
Season
Comedic
2.
Actor.
Barry Season 2. I know.
They've already started production.
Yep.
So go watch Barry.
Great show.
And it's fantastic.
Great fucking show.
Yeah.
And that's the news.
That's news. Bye-bye.
See you next week.